Hi everyone, my name is Kyeremateng-Boateng and this is my final project for CSCIE90 cloud computing, and the topic that I'll be presenting is Microsoft Azure HDInsight. I'll be talking a little bit more about Microsoft Azure HDInsight. I'll be running a sample application and also provide resources so that after this presentation you could go ahead and read more about HDInsight, how to install PowerShell, and also a little bit more about Hadoop. So Azure HDInsight is Microsoft's cloud's implementation of Hadoop. It's 100% Hadoop, and also it provides implementation of Storm, HBase, Pig, Hive, and so many technologies in the Hadoop framework. It also provides integration with business intelligence tools such as Excel, SQL Server reporting services, and SQL Server analysis. Some features about HDInsight is scalable, so if you want to increase or decrease the nodes depending on the amount of data, you could increase and decrease it. And if they have so many SDKs for various languages, so if you're a Java programmer, if you're a C# programmer, if you're a .NET, Python, Ruby, you could find an SDK that you could use to develop your application. Also, since HDInsight is 100% Hadoop, you could process unstructured and semi-structured data and run reports, do analysis or about your data. You could also connect to an Excel and run visualize your data, your Hadoop data. You could also import and also export data between Hadoop and Excel. So right now I'll go ahead and demonstrate using Hadoop cluster on HDInsight. I assume that you already have your Microsoft Azure account. You've installed JDK. You've also installed and configured PowerShell on your workstation. So to get started, you log into your account and in your management portal, you select from a list of services that HDInsight provide. So since we are using HDInsight, we will click on HDInsight, and if you don't have any cluster running or you don't have any cluster available, you see this blank page. So you click on create an insight cluster and this pop-up will show up. Once this pop-up show up, you select whether you want HBase, if you want Hadoop, if you want Storm. Since we are using Hadoop, we will select Hadoop and enter our cluster name, select our cluster size, select our subscription that we want to use, enter our password and confirm it, and also select our storage. If you don't have a storage in your Azure account, you could just create storage, and you'll be able to create a new storage which will be applied to this cluster, and you could create your cluster and link it to that storage. Without a storage, you wouldn't be able to create a cluster. So once you've entered all this information and it's showing that your name is there's no cluster name with the name that you entered, you click on create HDInsight cluster. It takes a couple of minutes for the cluster to create and also for everything to run, so you have to be patient. Once everything is running, you see when you go to the dashboard, you see this similar page like this. You see that the status is running. You see the version of Hadoop that you are running, and also the subscription name. And apart from PowerShell, apart from the PowerShell, HDInsight also use remote desktop, so that you connect to your remote desktop, and the remote desktop you could use a command line to run your Hadoop and MapReduce jobs. So once everything is running, I'll go ahead and show you the word count code that I'll be using. This is the word count code that I'll be using, which I copied from the HDInsight page, and after putting in my Eclipse, I created a jar file that I'll use to run the sample application. Once that is created, I'll go ahead and open my PowerShell and enter the following variables in the PowerShell. Once I enter these variables are the subscription name, cluster name, storage name, and your container name. The container name can be found under your storage item. Once you open your storage, you could go to the container tab and you see the container, and you enter the name. You add a name to the PowerShell. If you haven't added your Azure account to your PowerShell, you use this command to enter your Azure account. Once you enter this command, a pop-up will show up, and you would enter your username and password, which is your Azure username and password. Then it will confirm it and add it to your PowerShell, so that every time you want to use your Azure account, you don't have to enter your username and password. You just go ahead and enter any variables or commands that you want to use. So once we have the account added and also these variables in place, we go ahead and define our word count job. The word count job shows you the command that you want the PowerShell to run. It shows the location of the jar file, also the class name of the jar, the class name, and also arguments of the input. The arguments are the input and output of the job. It shows the input file and also the output location of the job definition. So to run your MapReduce, if MapReduce job, if you haven't entered your subscription name, you select. Once you enter your subscription name, you select your subscription name. You enter this code to run the job, and this word count job shows that for HDInsight to start the Insight job, it shows the cluster name, it shows the job word count job that we previously defined. It shows the wait time for the MapReduce job. So the MapReduce job, the MapReduce job in PowerShell wouldn't print out a log file as what it's doing. So the only thing that you will see that once it's complete, you will see another prompt will show up, and it wouldn't tell you anything. So you didn't know whether you didn't see any like log file as to what it's doing. It just tells you that it's done. It doesn't even tell you that. It just shows a command prompt. So with this command, when you run this command, it will print out the results. If there was an error, to show up. If there's no error, it will just print all the log files in it. You also use this command to show whether there was any error whilst you were running your MapReduce job. So after you finish running your MapReduce job, you have to retrieve your MapReduce job and also print it out to show printing out. So you use this command and to set up your storage account and also your storage context. And you use this command to download the output from your MapReduce job to your local workstation. And to get a printout of your workstation, to get a printout of your to get a printout of the Adobe the MapReduce job, you use this command, and this command is just showing that we want a string any string or any string that has these letters there. So as I already said, this is the word count job definition, and it shows you how when we downloaded the output to our workstation, and it shows you it provides a documentation that the documentation of transfer summary, and also the printout of our word count output, and shows you how it is in alphabetical order, so it shows everything that has DHE in it. So this is the output results, and it shows you everything that has THE in it. And as I said in the beginning of this presentation, there's a link to Microsoft Azure. There's a link to the HD documentation, and also a link to how to install and configure PowerShell. And this link is the sample application that I use. You could learn more about it. So so that you get more insight on running the sample application that I use. So that's all. Thank you.